You. My name is Khurram Bhatti and I work with Snow Software as a test and quality person. Today I would like to share my thoughts on what are the different possibilities and opportunities for a tester in an agile world. And second part, how a tester can be more effective uh, by combining three different approaches and become a value-adding exploratory tester in terms of saving money for the company and earning happy customers. So what has been happening is first of all, great thanks to all those phase models, which has been helping the software industry for delivering software with good or okay quality. But from testing perspective, there were certain challenges. So often there was a misconception that the code is bug free, and the time for the testing was usually squeezed. So the testers had a challenge to complete their test activities in that short time, which they could not. There was very less time for them to explore the system, and usually the quality feedback loop from the test phase toward the rest of the phases was very long. Uh, the main question came: who actually owns the quality? Is the people from the requirement or design or testing? So it wasn't clear enough. And once the project was delivered, it ended up in a major risks or a lot of stress with the software with the bad quality. But now going toward the agile, uh, for a tester, the whole thing with the agile is the focus has shifted from the development driven testing toward the test driven development. So agile is a big care as a way of working, and the test is a focus point which is driving the activities for the development. Very famous examples can be behavior driven development, acceptance test driven development, and the test driven development. So the focus has been shifting from finding the defects toward finding defects it earlier at the start of the project. And in agile, the different teams, they have a cross-functional, the team is defined as a cross-functional team where tester has direct access to the people who are writing the requirements, the people who are implementing the requirements, and people who will be designing those requirements. And if a tester has a misunderstanding or would like to gain more knowledge about the system, they can directly go there. It's a quick communication loop, and this is only happening if we're running Scrum. It is happening between 2 to 4 weeks as compared to the phase model, which was happening from 6, 12, or 18 months or even longer, and the companies are mostly losing the market. And the whole team is working on different levels. So the task, then a story, then we have a feature and the release. At the task level, the testers and developers are working together to define the unit test. At the feature and the story level, the testers are defining the acceptance test criteria and trying to understand what the feature will be used for and how trying to understand the perspective of the customer. At the release level, the tester has the possibility to identify any integration gaps if they are like product integration, component integration, and try to understand what could be what different test activities can be done there. Uh, the main questions come here, like who really owns the quality. So it's not the testers who are owning the quality. It's not only the requirements, but whoever is involved in the project, they own the quality together. So all of them are in a big circle. They are contributing and complementing each other to gain toward the same common goal. In the next, I would like to discuss how a testers can be more effective and become a very good value-adding exploratory tester. So the journey from non-exploration toward the exploration can be achieved. It's not impossible. First is having the technical awareness, as Lisa Crispin and Janet mentioned in their books. And the second is the domain knowledge. If we have a good domain knowledge, that can really help us to find different kind of scenarios. And third is the communication. So here we have the Agile as a way of working. Then we have the development activities and the test activities. Since the test activities are totally relying on the development activities, for a tester, it's not mandatory to have the coding or the programming knowledge, but it can be very helpful to understand the perspective of the programmer. They can help reviewing the code, or they can help reviewing the unit test case, or trying to understand the perspective while reporting the bugs. So it can bring uh, the testers and developers together. Uh, the second is the domain knowledge. Since the testers have operational knowledge about the system, in order to identify those, sometimes we are testing in a regular scenario, but it will be very helpful if you are trying to understand the domain or the user perspective and try to test this from that angle. Uh, the examples that can help to do that is Geico Adzik. It transforms the Maslow's hierarchy of needs toward the software quality. So there he mentioned we need to check if the software is deployable, is functioning okay, and if it's useful or it can be successful or not. In terms of the communication, no one can deny the importance of communication. It's a very constructive world where testers and the developers are helping each other to build the right product. We at Snow, whenever we find some bugs, we try to add some emotional feeling. It's not in a negative way, but in a constructive way. I would say that Agile is not a silver bullet. It's not an answer or solution to all our challenges and solutions, but it's a kind of a laboratory where we can do experiments, implement it, and learn from it. So we at Snow, we also did some experiments. We were facing challenges in terms of focusing for the development and test activities. So things were a bit not aligned too much in certain areas. So we defined the term of focus group, very similar to Lisa and Janet, the power of three. So in one focus group, we had a product owner as a source of requirements, the programmers or developers who will be implementing those requirements, and the testers who will be testing those. All of them, they are involved since at the start time. And the benefits were really good. We were able to determine the unknowns. We were able to produce the traceability matrices, which helped the whole team to understand what is implemented and how we can test it further. And it also helped us to visualize the information, because visualization is really essential could be very helpful in Agile. And third was we were able to bring the team members together. So it helped us in covering many different challenges. In summary, I would like to say that working in Agile world it's like everyone in the cross-functional team or in the Agile teams, they are special heroes. They have different powers. We need to combine them together. We need to complement together toward the same goal, which is defending our software against the quality bugs, which can be in the requirements or implementation or in the operation knowledge. And I think that Agile is a very fertile land. It has a lot of opportunities. Testers need to be brave to highlight those activities, considering the project factors. And it's like a tree which will definitely grow. There are different possibilities that we can definitely highlight and get it done. We need to be brave. We need to take some initiatives and deliver brilliance. Thank you very much.